There hasn't been a new asset class since the bond market was created in 1693. Well, now there's a new asset class, and it is the digital asset space. The question is, are you participating? Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is a digital asset space. Happy Wednesday to you. Wow, very almost traumatic evening last night trying to purchase BTC. This morning trying to purchase BTC. I'm not sure what is going on with Binance.com. Yeah, just totally crazy. Trying to use their third-party stuff did not work. Goodness. And then this morning, the same madness. And I ultimately ended up having to use Coinbase. Because I needed to use the BTC right away. So I had to suffer through the fees and use Coinbase. Sad moment for me. But nonetheless, guys, listen, this is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. Let's do this. So shout out to King Solomon on Twitter who shared this with the community. The White House plans to argue that a reset is needed to level the playing field and bring other developed economies rates more in line with the United States, with the U.S. And so let me go to one of the articles that talks about this. Let's go to Bloomberg. Now, Bloomberg is talking mentioning U.S. plans a broader reset of the WTO tariff commitments. So the World Trade Order. So President Donald Trump's trade chief, Robert Lighthizer, will tell U.S. lawmakers Wednesday that the time has come to renegotiate America's fundamental tariff commitment at the World Trade Organization. Currently outdated tariff determinations are locked in place that no longer reflect members' policies, choices, and economic conditions, Lighthizer said in prepared remarks to be delivered to the Senate Finance Committee starting at 3 p.m. Washington. He's scheduled to testify earlier in the day to the House Ways and Means Committee. Many countries with large and developed economies maintain very high bound tariff rates, far above those levied by the United States, the trade representative said. The United States must ensure that tariffs reflect current economic realities to protect our exporters and workers. So look, for me, the idea that this is about, in a lot of ways, leveling the playing field, just kind of lines up with everything that what we believe is going to happen in the very near future. You throw what's going on with China and their digital currency. We all know that the United States has a plan. We just got to figure out what that plan is. I believe, again, they're keeping it close to the chest. Mr. Giancarlo and his brother, they're not going away. The digital dollar project is here. It is upon us, and it is being looked at and studied quite extensively, right? And this is all part of it. This is, again, another way, if you will, of leveling the playing field. This is something that the POTUS has been wanting for a very long time. Listen, he can sign new executive orders, right? He just signed a new executive order. So I'm doing a lot of that lately, right? The one I was most excited about was the recent one where executive order where he did a regulatory relief, if you will, and allowing regulators to move forward in a way in, I don't want to say digital asset, but financially in a way that allows regulators to move forward in keeping pace with advancing technology, right? So this is all part of it. This is all part of the greater scheme, in my opinion, to level the playing field. So election year gambit could help the White House increase its pressure on various nations and trading bloc with whom the U.S. does not have an existing free trade agreement, like the European Union, the UK, India, and Brazil. The development could also roil the WTO, which is struggling for relevance at a time of growing protectionism and facing the prospect of a leadership void when its director, General Roberto Azevedo, steps down in September. Trump and his senior aides have long complained about the fact that other countries can charge higher tariffs on certain products than the U.S. does. Can't speak today, forgive me. Then they cite examples such as steeper European passenger car duties and Indian motorcycle tariffs as evidence of the way they believe global trading rules are tilted against America. So guys, listen, the other news I want to share with you is just briefly, really quickly. What happened here? Why did this go away? Oh, God. Let's see. So yeah, it's very cool to see that Ripple made the CNBC Disruptor 50 list. Absolutely excited about that. Number 28, as you can see here. Interesting the way they noted it. Number 28, Ripple, a crypto answer to money transfer. Feels as though they're talking about XRP and not Ripple, a company, not Ripple Labs, this fintech company in California, but XRP, the greatest digital asset ever created. So guys, remember the word that we got about Volante, right? It was really cool. We covered it. A lot of people covered it. Crypto Eddie, I believe, was kind of the first one to bring it to everyone's attention. She turned us onto the video of Marcus Treacher and some bud from somewhere, I forget the guy's name. That was a great interview as well. But there's two things I want to point out. I want to point out something that Crypto Eddie said about Volante in the first 2 minutes of that video that she did yesterday. And here's the video. XRP ODL MoneyGram, great pipe to every country. Ripple volume doubling every quarter. Brazil WhatsApp. Yeah, so she mentioned she's talking about Volante here, and she says that they're on the faster payments thing, right? Let me play it for you guys.
For them, because they have two announcements today of new partners to Ripple, and they joined the U.S. Faster Payments Council just this last April and are a voting member.
U.S. Payments Faster Council? Yeah, that council. They joined Volante last April, and they're a voting member, right? U.S. voting member. You guys saw the great news. Yes, is it great news about them getting First Trust Bank? Yes, absolutely. First Trust Bank actually wanting Volante services. Is that great news? Absolutely. Is it great news about Niche Global, which is a massive payments technology company in Hong Kong? Is that great news? Great news? Absolutely. That is great news. But let's not forget that Volante is a part of this whole Faster Payments Council thing in the U.S., and that they are a voting member, and that they are a partner of Ripple. Let's not forget that. The most important part. Let me share something. I believe it was Matt Line I shared this, right? So he kind of someone reached out to the people from Volante. So shout out to Matthew Line. U.S. FedWire has the ability to settle with XRP according to Volante Tech. First American Trust, FSB, will also be able to easily extend the service to other currently available payment types, such as ACH, the Clearinghouse RTP, and SWIFT cross-border payments. Let me share something with you guys here. See if this comes up. All right, so hello, Volante. Matt Line, I guess, was the dude who reached out to them. Will XRP be a possible settlement mechanism for this platform? Thank you. Volante Technologies. Remember this symbol, guys. Remember the symbol, because later on in the stream, I'm going to share something with you guys. As soon as I get permission to share it, I'm going to share something with you guys that is pretty powerful. You definitely want to see it. So this is from Volante Technology. Remember the symbol here. Volante's platform can be used to settle through XRP via our Ripple connection. We can't wait to get more banks on board, right? So I'm sure some people shared that in their videos this morning. right? I'm sure people share this. So that's a great tweet, but I just want to let you know. I got another thing to share with you guys. Okay. And it seemed like it was a private DM type message. Yeah, but I got to get permission to share. So I want to make sure that it is cool to share, but it's really, really powerful news nonetheless, right? So let's see here. So I shared the article with Bloomberg with you guys. This is really, again, about leveling the playing field. I think this is important to really understand that this is what it's all going to be about. The POTUS is looking to do a lot of different things, and we're not going to be left behind when it comes to blockchain and distributed ledger technology, guys. We are not going to be left behind. Ultimately, it is about the U.S. keeping this thing kind of close to their chest. This is what I ultimately believe it is. So the big news: XRP is not declared a security by Mr. Christopher Giancarlo. I actually have this is on the Forbes article, which is really not. I mean, it was cool, but it was really kind of a backdoor way to kind of point out some things that they believe to be not decentralized and wholly owned by Ripple. So they kind of backdoored this article there with the community. It wasn't really what the title said it was. But this is the actual letter from the article from Chris Giancarlo and Conrad Balke of Wilkie Farr and Gallagher, and the discussion of Ripple and the application of U.S. security laws to XRP. It's by Christopher Giancarlo and Conrad Balke of Wilkie Farr and Gallagher. Okay, I'm just going to read a couple of things here. Over the past decade, cryptocurrencies evolved from an anonymous white paper circulated among a small group of photography enthusiasts into a several $100 billion industry. As the public interest in cryptocurrency has grown, so too has the attention of lawmakers and regulators. With limited congressional direction thus far, state and federal regulators are faced with the daunting task of navigating through the complex legal and policy issues posed by this novel technology, including fundamental questions of jurisdiction and the applicability and appropriateness of existing regulatory frameworks. Again, this thing is titled Cryptocurrencies and U.S. Security Laws Beyond Bitcoin and Ether. Former CFTC Chairman Giancarlo and Conrad discuss Ripple and the application of U.S. security laws to XRP. So this is the better thing to read. I will link this in the description so that you can hear what read what Mr. Giancarlo has to say. Very, very good points. Their argument as to why XRP is not a security, in their words, you definitely want to check this out. I want to read one part that I really like. I'm going to read one part of it. What sets XRP apart from its peers is the XRP ledger. Unlike the blockchain protocols that support many other cryptocurrencies, the XRP ledger does not reward network participants for validating transactions on the ledger with coins, a process known as mining. In the absence of mining, XRP cannot be generated by third parties. Instead, a finite supply of XRP, 100 billion, was created at the time of inception, slightly more than 50% of which is currently held in escrow by Ripple and sold periodically. While these differences enable XRP to better serve its intended purpose as a liquidity tool and settlement mechanism, they do not fundamentally set XRP apart from its peers from a legal and regulatory perspective, right? This is where he gets into the detail. XRP is not an investment contract. All right, guys. So listen, I'm going to wrap up this video like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.